In a quiet corner of our busy city, there was a woman named Lena. Her kindness wasn't loud or flashy. It was in the small, everyday things. You'd see her sharing a warm loaf of bread with a neighbor, or just sitting and listening to someone's troubles on their front porch. But her most cherished moments were with Mama Ruth, the neighborhood's beloved elder. Lena would visit her every day, bringing groceries, reading from old books, and sharing stories that made them both laugh until they cried. "You've got a heart of gold, child," Mama Ruth would often say, her eyes twinkling. "Never let the world tarnish it." And Lena would just smile, her heart full. This simple, consistent care was the glue that held their little community together, a quiet testament to the power of showing up for one another. Far across town, in a sterile mansion that felt more like a museum than a home, lived Daniel. He was Mama Ruth's grandson, a man who had built an empire of glass and steel but had lost something precious along the way. His days were a blur of boardrooms and stock tickers. Family dinners were tense, silent affairs, more like business negotiations than gatherings of loved ones. He sent money to his grandmother, of course, but he hadn't visited in years. The calls were brief, filled with awkward silences. He told himself he was too busy, that this was the price of success. But late at night, staring out at the city lights from his penthouse, a hollow ache would remind him of a warmth he hadn't felt since he was a boy, a warmth that smelled like his grandmother's kitchen. Then the call came. Mama Ruth was gone. The news shattered Daniel's carefully constructed world. At the small, heartfelt funeral, he felt like a stranger among the people who truly knew and loved his grandmother. He watched from a distance as Lena, her face etched with grief, spoke of Mama Ruth's wisdom and boundless love. After the service, Lena approached him, not with judgment, but with a gentle kindness that echoed his grandmother's. "She talked about you all the time," Lena said softly. "She was so proud of you, Daniel. She just missed you." In her hands, she held a small, worn box. Inside was a collection of letters Mama Ruth had written but never sent, and a single, faded photograph of a smiling boy on his grandmother's lap. The dam inside Daniel broke. The tears he'd held back for years finally fell, not just for his grandmother, but for the man he had become. That moment of grief was also a moment of awakening. Daniel knew he couldn't let his grandmother's legacy be just a memory. He found Lena, and together they created the Mama Ruth Foundation. Their first project was turning a neglected lot into a vibrant community garden. We see it now, rows of lush vegetables, tended by neighbors of all ages. Children laugh as they learn to plant seeds, and elders find peace and purpose among the flowers. The garden became more than a source of fresh food. It was a place of connection, a living, breathing tribute to Mama Ruth's spirit of nurturing. Next, they tackled healthcare. Using Daniel's resources, they converted an old storefront into a free health clinic. The doors opened, and the clinic was immediately bustling. We see a young mother getting her baby checked, an elderly man finally receiving care for his chronic pain, all treated with dignity and compassion by volunteered doctors and nurses. Lena is there, of course, holding hands, offering comforting words, ensuring everyone feels seen and cared for. This wasn't just charity. It was about restoring health and hope to the community, one person at a time. But Daniel's transformation wasn't just about writing checks. He knew he had to give a part of himself. He started a mentorship program and took a young man named Leo under his wing. Leo was bright but adrift, on the verge of dropping out of school. Daniel didn't just give them advice. He spent time with them. We see them working on homework, playing basketball, and just talking about dreams, fears, and the future. Daniel shared his own mistakes and what he'd learned. For the first time, Leo saw a path forward. And for the first time, Daniel felt the profound reward of investing in another person's life, not with money, but with time and heart. Daniel then leveraged his corporate world, the one that had isolated him for so long. He reached out to his network of powerful contacts, not for deals, but for opportunities. He created a job placement program, connecting people from the neighborhood with real, stable jobs. He didn't just send them to interviews. He helped them build resumes, practice their skills, and find positions that match their potential. We see the joy on a woman's face as she gets her first corporate job, the pride in a young man's eyes as he starts an apprenticeship. Daniel was building bridges, turning his past isolation into a powerful tool for community empowerment. He was no longer just a businessman. He was a builder of futures. Months passed. The foundation had become the heartbeat of the neighborhood. One evening, Daniel found Lena sitting in the community garden watching the sunset paint the sky. The city hummed around them, but here there was peace. He sat beside her, the silence comfortable, familiar. "I used to think success was about how high you could build," Daniel said, his voice filled with a quiet humility. "But I was wrong. It's about how deep you can plant your roots. It's about what you help grow." Lena smiled, her eyes reflecting the warm glow of the setting sun. "She would be so proud of you, Daniel," she said. "Not for the foundation or the money, but for this. For finding your way back. You have her heart." In that shared look, there was no need for more words. Daniel had lost his grandmother, but in honoring her, he had found his community, his purpose, and most importantly, himself. The legacy of Mama Ruth wasn't just in the garden or the clinic. It was in the transformed heart of her grandson, now shining as brightly as she always knew it could. Thanks for watching. If this story moved you, please like, share, and subscribe for more.